one interesting example of one of the CVs that I thought and shortlisted was somebody who had written palmistry. It was nice to meet up the person, but he had no knowledge when I was sitting with him. There was another one I did shortlist and wanted to really meet him, was somebody who wrote voodoo. I do voodoo magic. I was really surprised, and in the end I actually asked him, if I don't select you, do I get pins in my body or something? So you really have to be very careful with what you write. It has to stand out, but also catch the eye of the recruiter, and it has to be relevant. That's practically for how you should be looking or writing up your CVs and working through it.
Hi, imagine you are badly dressed, using really bad grammar, lying through your teeth, using long sentences, jumping from one topic to another. Doesn't sound like employee material, right? Well, the same applies to your CV. Your resume is the story of your life. It is the first thing that goes to a company before you do. A typical recruiter gets anywhere between 3,000 and 10,000 applications every year. How do you stand out? This makes the process of CV preparation one of the most critical things. Let's look at Ricky here. He's an engineer like many others. He has 2 years of work experience like many others. He's part of some club or committee like many others. What makes him special? As of now, as a recruiter, I feel that his resume is just about average. But let me come back to it later. So that's where Ricky's tryst with this company ends. But let's try and help him. Let's try and salvage this situation. The first thing that Ricky should do is go to the placement committee and try and convince them that he should be allowed to present the resume in his own format and not be bounded by strict guidelines. Within the boundaries of reasonableness, of course. The CV should try and reflect your personality. It is something that will give your own unique flavor and help you present yourself to the company better. The next thing Ricky needs to do is have a handy list of things that he wants to put in his CV. What are the really cool things that you've done in your life? Have you played badminton at the national level? Or have you had a research paper published in an international journal? Things at the school level may not really cut so much ice at this stage of your life. The next thing you need to do is have all of these achievements represented on the resume in logical clusters. So we start with academic achievements, then we look at qualifications and certifications. We also look at your extracurricular activities. Then we move on to hobbies. There could be extra sections if there is something unique to you. There are certain sections which could be more emptier than the others, and it is completely okay. And you could actually just do away with them. Figure out what is a big message, the big headline that you want the employer to take from you. Everyone has something special about them. There has to be some spike in your resume. You may have demonstrated great excellence while taking exams throughout your life. Or you would have been an all-rounder, maybe winner of gold medals, maybe created great impact in some social activity. There would be something that you want the employer to really focus on. So do that. Ensure that your CV reflects that. Don't write long paragraphs or confusing sentences. Focus on brevity and comprehensive coverage is important. Now we come to work experience. You need to first state your position, then mention the challenge, and then talk about the impact. Focusing on impact is key. In fact, this is a theme that you should follow even with your extracurriculars. While you may have organized an event in your college, how many people did you lead? What kind of sponsorships did you garner? What was the impact that your event had on the ecosystem around you?
Structuring the CV points in a way which clearly shows the impact of your work is extremely critical. Taking a cue from my personal experience, initially I had framed the statement as worked on software code optimization and bug fixing for the browser application. Sounds too technical, right? Later on, I changed it to optimize code for the browser application, which resulted in 2x faster download and 8% power savings. Thus, by adding the value of my work, I could completely transform my CV, which ultimately helped me in the interview shortlisting process.
In the end, the CV is a list of talking points. Do not bullshit on it. You will be found out in the interview. The CV is a great confidence building measure. It will give you a great impetus before you go for your interview. Do a good job on it, and come interview week, you will look like this. In the second part of the CV preparation, we will talk about matrimonial biodatas. I'm just kidding, guys. We will now look at common mistakes that you should avoid during the CV preparation process.